Okay, hello everybody. Hello, and welcome. It is Wednesday, August 22nd, 2018, and I am Darkside Phil. I welcome you to the first of two gameplay streams of the day. A full day of streaming again here, guys. What are we doing today? Well, it was kind of in your hands, because overnight I did a poll on Twitter, and I asked you guys, what is it that you would like to see on stream today? Since we are doing two new playthroughs this week. I started up a second run of Dark Souls 3 back on Sunday, and I started Shenmue HD yesterday. And the voting was close, don't get me wrong, the voting was pretty close. I think it was only something like, I want to say 8% between, what won and what didn't, with about maybe 450 people who voted. So you're talking less than, probably like 40 people who determined the voting. But it did come up Dark Souls 3, which is fine, because it didn't really matter what I played today, because what I don't play today, I'm playing tomorrow, okay? So, the cool news about this, guys, is that since the last time that I played Dark Souls 3 on Monday, I have received my gifted PS4 Pro from a very long time and appreciative viewer who really wanted to help out this hardcore gaming season coming up, wanted to make sure that I had a PS4 that wasn't constantly having audio issues, had more hard drive space, and that I was going to get the best performance on all the new releases coming out, okay? So I got to give a shout out to that person who wants to remain anonymous. Thank you very much. You know who you are. And so I transferred my game, Dark Souls 3, over from my old PS4 to my PS4 Pro, and just for the hell of it, I booted it up. I wanted to see how the game performs. It's pretty damned amazing. Like, night and day. I'm not even kidding. It runs at almost a smooth 60 frames per second on the PS4 Pro. Not a full, because I've noticed it did dip in certain parts, certain portions. It was losing some frames. But in general, the game was running exceptionally well. And I was very pleased with this. Because, obviously, if you guys weren't around 2 years ago, which is true, a fair enough point. Maybe many of you weren't. Keep in mind that 2 years ago, I wasn't even streaming on Twitch, right? When I played Dark Souls 3 originally, I played it on Xbox One, and good lord, did I have problems with the game. This game runs terribly on the original Xbox One. The frame rate was constantly dipping below 30 frames per second. There were certain boss fights, such as the Pontiff, that were almost unplayable. Like, the Pontiff was not a tough boss, in my opinion, but the game would chug into, like, single-digit frames sometimes, and it would actually create slowdown in the game, and that would mean that your inputs are delayed or completely dropped, because the game was running like molasses, and it just made artificially difficult some parts of the game, which is really stupid. So I'm pretty excited to be now playing Dark Souls 3 with the much better performance on PS4 Pro. Here's hoping that this will now allow me to, do better at what I love about this game. A lot of the boss fights and everything are really good, and it just sucks when you're doing an epic boss fight, and now the game slows down or gets choppy, and it fucks you up, right? I guess we'll see. I certainly hope that this is going to be a much better experience, at least just for the 2 minutes I ran around in 60 frames per second. I was like, holy shit, this looks like it's going to be way better, okay? So, I'm excited for this. I hope you guys are excited as well. Now, FYI, I'm only going to be recording and streaming at 30 frames per second. Reason being, I record for YouTube at a different bitrate than I stream on Twitch. So if I were to try to do this at 1080p 60 frames per second, my PC wouldn't be able to handle it. I could do it at 720p, but it would be kind of stupid to already have played 8 hours into the playthrough and now downgrade to 720p for the sake of 60 frames. I think we'll stick at 30, but the thing is, it will be a steady 30. I don't think it's ever going to dip under 30 for you guys, at least from what I've seen running on the PS4 Pro. So this should be pretty excellent. It should be pretty excellent, and looking forward to the rest of the playthrough. Now, it's kind of funny. We're basically seeing Dark Souls-itis, and you might be wondering, what the hell does that mean? I've noticed this every time now that I play a From Software game, this happens. I stream it, and the streams do really well. In particular, the viewership usually on stream, when I stream any From Software game, usually comes out really well. Alright? But on YouTube, not so much. on YouTube, for whatever reason, the viewers don't really watch the From Software stuff. I don't know why. I've noticed this over the past 2-3 years as I did things like the Dark Souls 1 Redemption run, the Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin run, and now that I'm doing my second run in Dark Souls 3, for whatever reason, YouTube viewers just don't dig it. They don't really watch the stuff. And that's okay, as long as I can still get people coming out and hanging out with me on the streams. It doesn't really matter how many people are watching it on YouTube. I mean, in general, YouTube, as you guys know, is not doing well anyway, at all. Pretty much my YouTube is incredibly stagnant right now, and what I mean by that is not necessarily the channel. The channel is actually getting hundreds of new subs, which is great. It's because I'm doing the longer style videos now. You know, you're doing 40-minute to an hour-long videos instead of the old 10-minute videos I was doing. But because of this, ad revenue is incredibly down over there, okay? And it doesn't really help, but now I'm playing Dark Souls 3, and now no one's even watching Dark Souls 3 on YouTube. It's like, ugh, like the double whammy, right? Now, the good news is that there is some good news. My subs are up, and my overall video engagement is up. By several minutes, by the way. Since I started doing the longer videos, this is definitely helping for the overall engagement of my channel. And obviously what I'm hoping for here is that with all the new releases coming out in the next few months, you know, September, October, November, a huge amount of new high-profile releases that undoubtedly people are going to want to watch me play, that this is going to drive new people to the channel. They're actually going to subscribe and watch the videos because they are going to be longer videos. It will not create inbox spam for those who sub, and this will make the metrics on my channel jump way up. It would be great if that could happen. I don't know if it actually will. So I guess we'll have to see what happens in the next few months. But in particular, YouTube not doing so well right now. So, you know, anything that you guys contribute on the streams is much appreciated. I'll talk about that in a moment. But yeah, Dark Souls 3 is what you guys voted on overnight to be the first stream today, and that's what we're doing. Later tonight, I'm going to be doing some throwback Street Fighter fun. We're going to do a classic Street Fighter stream for you. I might try to play Super Turbo. But every time I try to play Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, it really doesn't work out very well. I usually can't really find anybody. So more than likely tonight will end up being more Third Strike stuff. Okay? So that'll be fun. I definitely think that it'll be fun. You know, I love doing classic Street Fighter. And I do it about once a week. And people seem to enjoy it when I do it. So I hope you guys will check that out tonight. Okay? Tomorrow, guys, will be Shenmue. Since we're not doing it today, we're going to do it tomorrow. More Shenmue continuing on tomorrow, okay? And then tomorrow night, I'm returning to Street Fighter 5, all right? So, oh, by the way, Faded Bot, thank you. Faded Bot is the person who actually did the overlays for the stream. For example, hold on, I'll show you. I gotta fix the video. I know it's all stretched out, but see, the overlay around my webcam, the overlay of the bar on the top of the screen. He's the guy who made those, and he's actually going to be making a new color for us. So there's some variety during this upcoming hardcore gaming season, rather than just red all the time. But Fadebot, please, if you could email me, because I completely have forgotten the link. I know you're saying you're going to put it to the same place you put the other one. I totally forgot what that was. So if you could email me, shoot me an email, darksidephil@hotmail.com, and I will implement those. What I'll do is maybe alternate between the two, which could be pretty sweet, okay? So anyway, yes, tomorrow we'll be doing Shenmue, and then tomorrow night, Thursday night, I'll be returning to Street Fighter 5. Yes, another session of Street Fighter 5. People seem to like the session I did on Monday, and I want to do another 2 hours Thursday night. Will I be playing other characters than Ryu? I don't know. At this point, I am trying to basically just learn the game from a point of basics, like learning all the new characters and what their abilities are, learning the basics of how the footsies are working and stuff in the game, which there basically are almost no footsies. But what I'm thinking is maybe one more stream with just Ryu, and then after that, I could start to branch out and experiment, where I'll take characters into training mode and mess around a little bit with them, and then try to take them online and see what I can do if I can learn strategies and stuff, okay? So maybe one more Ryu stream, and then after that, branch out to better characters. Okay, and then Friday is kind of up in the air. Would people want to see more Shenmue? I don't know. And what would people want to see Friday night? I mean, I could do more Scarface. Scarface I played last night for 2 hours and finally got past the distribution mission hurdle that I had been on. And I am progressing in the game. From what I'm to understand, there's a stream of missions that I need to complete called the Sandman missions. And then it's the final mission in the game, which is apparently incredibly hard. So I may be able to beat the game in another session of Scarface or not. I don't know. But I'll be honest with you guys, there didn't seem to be much interest. Like, the stream chat wasn't very engaged. They were kind of bored at the game. Which was weird because viewership was up. Apparently we had over 400 viewers last night, which I don't usually get on a late night stream. Yet people weren't really engaged. It seemed like it was kind of dead. So I don't know why. Maybe it's just because Scarface is old news. I brought it back on purpose because people had been asking me for 2.5 years if I was ever going to go back and beat it. And I kept saying, no, no, no. And now I said, you know what? I'll soften up a little bit. Maybe I'll start to listen more to my viewers if this is really what they want. I mean, that's why I returned to Persona 3 last week and finally beat the game, right? That's why I'm returning to Street Fighter 5. I'm trying to be more open with my viewers and being more receptive to requests and criticism and the like, right? So, maybe I'll do more Scarface on Friday night. Maybe I'll do something else. I don't know. I'll leave it open for now for us to determine what I'm going to do, okay? And then next week, okay, will be a balance between Dark Souls 3, Shenmue, and next week we've got Fire Pro Wrestling World releasing. It's the major release for next week. In reality, it's pretty much the only other major wrestling game, Fire Pro Wrestling, that's ever really gotten any attention outside of WWE games. So it'll be very interesting to see how this game performs. I'm crazy excited because the game basically lends itself to tons of character creation and fun fantasy sim matches and the like, which is what I'm all about with WWE every year. So now imagine just doing that in another game that's pretty much made for it completely. Could be pretty sweet. So I hope that you guys will check that out next week. All right, that's the big new release for next week. So it'll be, it'll be a lot of balance of variety coming up for the end of August, all right? Now, guys, I'm going to do a plug segment, but I'm going to do a very short one, and allow me to explain why. Here's the deal, guys. As you guys know, I've had a lot of problems with YouTube recently. First, I lost monetization completely. Then it came back, but I'm making almost nothing on YouTube, all right? What I'm really nervous about right now is that next month, I'm going to get my first payment, well, my last payment from when I was with Curse. I know that payment is going to be very small because it was only for about half or just a little bit over half of the month of July. And then after that, I made no money because I was demonetized, okay? And so what's going to happen is probably for the first 2 weeks of September, even though things will be going great here, I'll be playing new games. That'll be very exciting. People are going to love all the new releases, Spider-Man and everything coming out. Financially, behind the scenes, I'm going to be nervous, all right? Because I don't know if I'm going to have enough money to pay my bills. Being honest, until I get paid from Twitch, which is the middle of the month, so that would be the middle of September, I don't know if I'm going to have enough money to pay my bills because of this situation that happened with YouTube, all right? So, if you love my content, if you love everything that I do, all right, and you want to see me continue to be able to do it and get over this stupid hurdle that I faced, there are a few particular ways that you can help, all right? A few particular ways in the next few weeks, okay? Now, as you know, there's many ways that you can help. There's Patreon, there's Teespring, there's cheering, subbing, and tipping, etc. But out of those particular ways, there's a few ways that will help more than anything in the next few weeks. The first would be my Patreon. If you pledge to my Patreon this month, so you've got 9 days left if you want to pledge to my Patreon and have it count for August. That's going to help me in the short term. That's going to help me get over this problem I'm having right now, okay? If you pledge to my Patreon, you get perks for your contributions, all right? What do you get? Well, in particular, if you pledge $5 or more this month, you will be able to nominate and vote on indie games for an indie games event that I'm going to be doing coming up in this fall, more notably, probably sometime in October, okay? But you get other perk levels too. In fact, I just recently did a private Q&A video for somebody. And when I do Ask the King, which is, by the way, Ask the King is returning in September, you'll be able to get your questions answered for sure on the show. That's another guaranteed perk you can get for a certain level. So please give it a look. Patreon.com/DarkSidePhil. Again, if you pledge to my Patreon this month, 9 days left in the month, it'll help me tremendously with my upcoming problem. All right. The other way you can concretely help is to tip me. When you tip me, that's funds I get right away to put towards bills. And I know for a fact that coming up in the next couple of weeks to months, I'm going to have to drop a lot of money on games. I'm on Fire Pro Wrestling World, Dragon Quest 11, Spider-Man, possibly SNK Heroines, possibly Tomb Raider. In fact, I'm probably going to end up playing Tomb Raider. Just in the next couple of weeks for new releases. Plus, obviously, I need to pay all my bills, right? And not that I'm going to be getting way less income in early September than I normally do because of losing monetization for so long on YouTube. So anything you guys tip me is tremendously helpful right now. That's the main method that you can help me out of anything, okay? How do you tip me? Well, there's a button below my stream that says Tip Jar. If you click on that, it'll take you to my PayPal tips page where you can leave a tip. And you can either be anonymous or you can seek to get a shout out by leaving your name in a message. Or if you don't see that button, if you type !tip into the stream chat, it'll bring up a link that you can click on, and that'll bring you to the tips page where you can leave a tip as well. All right. Much appreciated, guys. Now, everything else is still great. If you want to buy something from my Teespring, if you want to cheer, sub, or tip during the stream to get a shout out, all that stuff is still very greatly appreciated. And yes, it does tremendously help me as well. But in the short term, because this impending thing is going to happen in early September where I'm not going to make a lot of money because of what happened with the ad revenue issue in July, I need your help in the short term, all right? And what I'm hoping here is that I can bounce back from it because now I do have ad revenue back on YouTube. And so that hopefully moving forward, it won't be as big of an issue. But I have to get over this short-term hurdle in order to tackle this upcoming busy gaming season and see what happens. All right. Sound good? Okay, so thank you guys very much for all of your support. And by the way, that's really the only plugs I'm going to do. As you guys can see, we do have the Stream Stats leaderboard in effect. So if you're the top cheerer or the top tipper today, I'll put you up on the leaderboard. I will also do a running tally of how many subs we have on the channel. And also, as you guys can see at the top of the screen, or the stream chat, I should say, there's a running tally of the top cheerers for the week. So those who cheer will get up there and get credit for their contributions. But outside of that, guys, I really don't want to spend too much time on plugs. The major complaints that I've been getting is that I spend too much time advertising, which I think is ludicrous because I advertise for, what, 10 minutes a day out of the 8+ hours that I stream. But hey, if people complain, they complain. So that's it. If you want to help, please pledge to my Patreon. Please tip me. The other methods of contributions help as well, but those are the two main ways that you can help primarily. And we'll leave it at that. Done. How does that sound? Sound good? All right. All right, well, sadly, we've got some people trolling. Isn't it delightful that the only people who are cheering are trolling? Anyway, Floppy Donkey Sausage, I'm just going to say this. First of all, it's amazing to me that you're not banned from Twitch yet with that name. But stop being a trollish jerk. You know what you're doing in your cheers. And, even though I do appreciate your cheering, I'm not going to put up with it forever. So if you keep it up, you're going to end up getting banned from the channel. So stop, okay? All right. So, now let's move on. Let's move on and let us do a few shout outs for those who have contributed positively. All right. First of all, overnight, we had we had Infinite55 who did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you very much, Infinite55, for the 100-bit cheer. And we had Golden Colts who did a 25-bit cheer. Thank you both of you guys, for your overnight support. It is much appreciated. Shady Sands, subscribe to the channel when the channel actually went live today. Let's actually see. I want to double check on a sub count. Let's see here. We went down a few, but I knew we were going to. All right, we're at 552 subs. Let's update that. Violet Queen Zero asks, why am I giving the trolls attention? Well, because they're cheering. And when they cheer, I'm supposed to give a shout out. And if I'm not giving a shout out, I need to kind of clarify why I'm not. Because if I don't, then you might have other people who see that and say, oh, Phil just isn't giving shout outs. What you guys got to understand is that what I say and do on my stream is very subjective. I'm trying to keep the streams positive, guys. And I certainly don't want to have the streams become me just literally just talking with trolls constantly. That would not be productive for anyone. I think that we would much rather have it be a positive stream than me just addressing troll shit all the time, which is why when I see people coming in here and they're cheering, well, that's great. Then I read the cheer and it's like some detractor meme or, you know, something that's basically a slide stab or pick or an insult. And it's like, you know, do you read this? It's hard to determine what should I read, what shouldn't I read, what should I react to, what shouldn't I react to. It actually becomes pretty tough, okay? It does. It becomes pretty tough to determine what to do, because, you know, you don't know. Maybe it's someone who is actually a good supporter, but they're just trying to joke around, or it could be someone who's literally just being here in the meantime to try to get into the good graces so that then they could drop the bomb, say something racist, say something stupid that's going to get me in trouble. You see what I mean? And the bottom line is I can't jeopardize my whole streaming presence on Twitch for a bunch of jerks who are only here to detract and to bring the stream down, you know? I don't know what else to say. You know, so... and yeah, I agree, DKP Games. It is weird they pay to troll, but they realize when they do that I'm going to at least read what they say. You know what I mean? Like, a normal insult comment in the stream chat, I could just ignore. But if they're cheering, I have to read, because remember, I'm trying to have a policy where I try to give thanks for all of the people who contribute. And so they know that at least gets my attention during the stream, right? Even if I don't address it. So, you know, that's why they do it, I think. And let's face it, you don't see these guys who are coming out and saying insulting stuff. They're not coming and being incredibly supportive. They're not the ones who are tipping big. They're not the ones who are coming out, you know, and doing the productive stuff. They're doing 25-bit cheer, right? So that's the minimum so that they can get me to pay attention just to get a stab or a jab at me, right? I agree there too, Tails. Tails says it's not even trolling; it's just being an asshole because trolling is meant to be funny, right? When you're doing, we should clarify. Actual trolling means kind of, yes, I could be laughing at you, but it's a situation that could still be construed as we can laugh together, right? That's different than, oh, here's something that's just a fucking insult, you know? So I get it. I totally get it. I do. Anyway, Scatman is the top cheerer with 100-bit cheer. He says, nice to see that you're listening more to your audience. Just be careful. You can't please everybody. You're right. You're absolutely right, Scatman. You're absolutely right, and I know that. Listen, after doing this for almost 10 years now, I definitely know. It's the old adage definitely applies. You can please all of the people some of the time. You can please some of the people all of the time, but you cannot please all of the people all of the time. It's just not possible. There'll be certain audiences that I can cater to that it's gonna end up being better, and certain audiences that are always gonna be upset. You know, right now, there are people who really wanted to see me play Octopath Traveler this summer, and the fact that I'm not doing it, they're like seething mad at me that I didn't play this game, okay? I don't get why. I explained to everyone the situation, but it doesn't matter. If that's what they wanted, they didn't get what they want, and now they're angry at me for whatever reason. You know, moving forward, the same thing will happen. But it's funny because, if anything, I feel that, you know, I am improving as a streamer and a person. I mean, look at some of the stuff that I'm doing right now. You know, I finished Persona 3. I'm honestly trying to give Street Fighter V another shot. I'm going to try to beat Scarface. So, even though there were moments years ago where I was so overcome with just anguish and rage and being upset or depressed or whatever it was that made me not want to play those games anymore, you know, I'm honestly giving them another shot to try to grow and to try to become better here. And, you know, there's some people that are appreciative of that, and there's some people that didn't take that opportunity to try to be negative jerks and get attention on those streams, right? Like, we know whenever I play Dark Souls, half the people here are here to laugh when I die. And that's okay, but then to take it to the next level, oh, I'm going to try to derail his stream completely with, you know, snide remarks and insulting shit. You know, that's when it goes overboard. Shout out to Chris Kierkegaard, who subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Chris, for the sub. I appreciate that. See, now here you go. Here's a perfect example. So there's a guy, his name is Mr. Views. He did a 200-bit cheer, and he says, I'm just going to ban. Now, what is this in reference to? Years ago, I used to say, I don't want to be Mr. Views. I don't want to be all about the views. But in reality, a lot of the things on YouTube used to be about the views. All right, because that's how it determined how much money I made. So that was something that I said years ago in regard to YouTube. And this guy brings it up, makes it a name on fucking Twitch, and then does a cheer and says, I'm just going to ban. That's another reference to when I've been recently talking about trolls and saying, you know, I'm not even going to address you people anymore. I'm just going to ban you because it seems like if I address you, I can get in trouble on Twitch, right? So, yeah, that's what I mean. Now, Mr. Views, I just gave him a little bit of attention, right? And obviously he got what he wanted, but he did cheer. He did cheer and contribute. It's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Now, if I didn't address him, people would have said, oh, see, Phil's ignoring people who are cheering. You see what I mean? You know what? In this case, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be lenient, and I'm going to put Mr. Views up on the leaderboard as the top cheerer for today. How about that? There we go. What the hell? I screwed up. So there you go. Even though his cheer was a blatant trollish thing, I'm still putting him up on the leaderboard. Okay. Let's see. King of Hypocrisy cheers says, why don't you just read the troll stuff to get more money as long as it doesn't break Twitch rules? Because what it does, it just turns the chat toxic. Because what people are saying is, oh man, people are insulting Phil and he's taking the insults. And now that stream has become a negative place, instead of us hanging out and having fun and doing fun stuff with games, instead now what we've got is, you know, trolling, basically. And that's not what people want. When people come to the streams, they basically want to feel safe. They want to feel like they can hang out and talk with other people. They don't want to get involved in drama. They don't want to get involved in insults about me or others or anything. You know, that's not allowed on the stream. It's in the stream rules that it's not allowed, okay? But so people don't want to deal with that shit, you know? So it's a slippery slope, because if you open the floodgates for that behavior, then all you're going to get is that kind of behavior, right? And that's the thing, is I can't have that behavior constantly on my streams, because I can't have it become all of that. You know what I mean? Prank Black tipped me $3. Thank you, Prank Black. I'll get you up on the leaderboard here. And he says, speaking of Octopath, will you consider it for some future downtime? Yes. I mean, Octopath Traveler. Okay, hold on a second. Let me get you up on the leaderboard. Octopath Traveler, all right, it was one of the most popular games of the summer. But as everyone has said, it's incredibly difficult, requires a ton of time and dedication and grinding in order to really get to the end and see the true ending of the game. It takes even more time and grinding. And honestly, if I didn't play Persona 3 this summer, it definitely would have been something that I would have done. But because I was so dedicated to finishing up Persona 5, I wanted that game done with so that we could just move on to other positive stuff. You know, I put up with, I said, I have to put Octopath on the back burner. Would I consider playing it? Absolutely. I would love to play it at a future date. But as you guys know, typically JRPGs are not the cup of tea of my viewing audience. So I don't know when. Would I consider doing it as a back burner game? Absolutely. Will I be doing it anytime soon? I have absolutely no idea. Okay. Jay Bowler just did a 201-bit cheer and said, I know it's still a few months away, but when Red Dead 2 comes out, I have a feeling it'll be your best stream of the year. Perhaps it will. I think a lot of people are looking forward to my Red Dead playthrough. You know, my original Red Dead Redemption playthrough was one of the more epic ones that I did and got a lot of attention on YouTube. And let's face it, I think for many people, including myself, I think that Red Dead Redemption 2 is the it game, the big game that we're all looking forward to this hardcore gaming season, right? I think we are. We're all very much looking forward to this game. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. Hopefully it's good. I certainly hope that the game is good, okay? Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to Tutankhamen, who has been doing a ridiculous amount of cheering. However, he's been spamming the living shit out of the chat with emotes, and I just want to warn you, Tutankhamen, please stop doing that. The cheers are much appreciated. Spamming the chat with the emotes is not, and I know some people are going to start complaining if you keep doing it, and if we get enough complaints, we might have to moderate, and I don't want to have to, because you are being supportive, but please, if you can, please cut down on spamming of the emotes. Okay. Tails did a 100-bit cheer. It says, how are you finding Shenmue? Are you enjoying it? I'm playing it too and loving it, but I played it back in the day on the Dreamcast. So far, so good. Let me put it this way. So far, I thought that... Oh, by the way, thank you, Tutankhamen. Tutankhamen is now doing a bunch of 100-bit cheers with a single emo, and that is much appreciated. It cuts down on the spam. Thank you, Tutankhamen. But anyway, I was actually very surprised. I was very surprised at what Shenmue actually is. I thought Shenmue was going to be run around the city doing a bunch of random fights constantly. I thought it was literally going to be fight after fight after fight. And then there'd be story mixed in. I thought it was going to be the opposite of what it actually is. It's run around the city doing mission after mission, talking, doing these, like, almost like you're an investigative, you're a detective almost. In a lot of ways, right? It definitely is like you're a detective. And then there is a little bit of quick time events and combat mixed in with it. So it's actually the opposite of what I expected. Also, I certainly didn't expect that there would be mandatory downtime where you need to kill time until the next time you can maybe talk to someone for an investigation or whatever. I didn't expect that either. So it's interesting. It's definitely different from what I expected when I was looking to play this game. I do like it. I am enjoying it, although I'll be honest, I think for a viewing audience, it's good and bad. Some people like it because it's a very chill game. There's not a hell of a lot of action going on, and a lot of people like that. They say, man, you know, a more chill gaming experience or whatever. But some people don't like that, and they're like, man, I was expecting action. I was expecting, you know, things to happen, and they're not happening, and it's more just talking to people constantly, and some people got turned off. So it'll be interesting to see moving forward if the game ends up being better or worse, or how it changes. Will it stay at this pace that it's at right now, or is it actually going to change its pace moving forward? I have absolutely no idea, okay? Because I haven't played the game ever before. I know for those of you who probably have played this game when it was new or newer, probably know better than me. But I'll definitely be interested. Definitely be interested in playing it further and seeing, you know, where it goes, okay? All right, so shout out to Tutankhamen, who during the course of this stream did so many smaller cheers. He is now the top cheerer of the week. So thank you very much for that. I do appreciate that support, Tutankhamen. Thank you very much. In fact, he did, I believe, over 1,700 bits of cheering just on this pre-stream. Thank you, man. Okay. AES cheered and says, from what you played so far, how would you compare Yakuza and Shenmue? Well, it's like I said, it seems like what Yakuza did, they took the open world formula of Shenmue, but they added a ridiculous amount of combat in the streets so that there's combat as a focus of the game, and then all the talking and dialogue and side missions ends up to the overall content and quirkiness of it for variety. So I think literally what it looks like is that what Yakuza did is took the basic formula of Shenmue and improved upon it in a lot of ways. So I do believe that Shenmue is the predecessor to Yakuza, and, you know, 100% I agree with that statement. And by the way, AES, I know that you were looking to get your patron stuff. It should be all set now. If you check this morning, you should see that. You should be good to go. And by the way, please let me know if you're not, so I can look into it again. But I was told today that you should be good to go. Okay? Ariana Grande. It's not spelled like her name, but it's spelled Grahnday. So it's meant to be spelled a different way. Shearer says, I'm picking it up, loving, I'm living. So we turn it up. Yeah, we're turning it up. Is that an Ariana Grande lyric? I have no idea. I don't think I've heard a song of hers. I'm serious. So yeah, thank you for the cheer. And Individual One cheered 75 bits and says, Phil, my personal attorney pled guilty to 8 felonies yesterday. I hope your stream cheers me up today. I wonder what that could be in reference to. I have absolutely no idea. Oh my god. All right. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Anything else that anyone would like to talk about before we begin with Dark Souls 3 here today? The higher frame rate edition, which I'm actually pretty excited for. Amos, bro, I am very aware of what it was a reference to. I was joking. I know what it was a reference to. Trust me, with my news feeds on Apple, that go to my phone, it's like impossible to not know. It's like everything in the fucking, that's all I see in the news. Did Shruti ask, am I ever going to go back to Okami? I don't know. Okami wasn't a bad game, but it also wasn't like, it didn't blow me away. And no one cared about it. I mean, just being honest with you guys, I played it, and after 2 sessions, no one cared. Like, the stream attendance was abysmal, and people were like, play anything but this. I think some games are great for streaming and some aren't, you know. It's dependent on the audience, obviously. And that game, for whatever reason, is one of those games that just didn't catch on. So, I don't know. No, I'm never going back to the Nioh DLC. I don't care about it. Or Neo DLC. I do not care about that, playing that ever again. Big Musky Werewolf Balls Cheery says, Phil, do not forget to get your 5 free levels before beating the Abyss Watchers, or you won't get the Lord of Hollow ending. Okay. I don't know if I can... Did I only die once or twice since the last time I died so I can get another level? I don't remember. I don't remember. Oof. Ow. Neck is stiff. Mood to start cracking. Ouch. AES just cheered. He says, Nintendo is releasing a subscription-based comic book app on the Switch. They think we want it over apps like an internet browser or Netflix. Shaking my head. Comic books. Comic books. Amazing. Vietnamese comrade, yes, I saw your tweet, but I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't even know who that person is. I have no idea, so pretty much not pertinent to me at all. All right, we got someone on stream. Yorch says they're a longtime fan, but first time on stream. Welcome to the stream, Yorch. Hope you have a good time today. I'm just chilling with everyone here before we start gameplay, seeing what people want to talk about before we jump into Dark Souls again. Prince asks, when do I think that I'll replay Neo? I have no idea. That's like the last thing on my mind right now. And the bottom line is, next year, we've got Sekiro now. What is it, March it's coming out? So, I really don't think I'm going to be playing Neo anytime soon. Maybe a run before Neo 2 comes out, but I really just don't want to replay that game. AES cheered again. He says, is there any way you could stream Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games? I don't think so. Nintendo pretty much has effectively shut down most of the ROM sites out there. So it's pretty much almost impossible to get, like, NES, Super NES ROMs anymore. So, yeah, I don't know. Unless those are readily available on some virtual console that's still active, I don't know. March is going to be a good month, says Darrow. I mean, next year is going to be a good year. I think January, February, and March are 3 of the busiest gaming months we've seen in a million years. It's so insane how crazy it looks like it's going to be those 3 months. It looks just nuts. Pray for Rock. Yes, I believe I did enable boost mode and super sampling. I think. I'll double check. I'm pretty sure I did boost mode. I don't know about super sampling. Let me double check here. Boost mode's enabled. Let me see here. I don't know, where would super sampling be? Because the boost mode is on, but I don't know about super sampling. I don't know where that's found. It's not in the same area here. Yeah, I'm looking. I don't know where the hell it would be. Jay Bowler. Wow, we got a lot of cheers just came in at once. Holy shit. Hold on a second here. Jay Bowler just cheers, says, will you show of Tomb Raider be on the list next month? I think he meant to say Shadow of Tomb Raider on my list for next month. Maybe. We'll see. The last game was very boring and no one really cared about it, even when I played it. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not 100% committing to it or not saying I'm not doing it. Tana Mounder did a 50-bit cheer. Thank you, Tana Mounder. AES cheered again. He says, do you think the release of Dark Souls Trilogy on PS4 and Xbox One will take away some of the hype of the Dark Souls Remastered game on the Switch? I don't know. I couldn't answer you that one. Baby Vampire Thug cheered. Says, was Neo the game you had the accident on? It was actually, no, it was the beta, wasn't it? I'm trying to remember. Because Neo didn't come out until 2017. And yeah, it must have been the early beta or the early alpha. Sound and screen video output setting. Super sampling mode. Super sampling mode can improve the image quality of some games on a TV with 2K resolution or lower. Results may differ depending on the games. I guess I'll try it. Alright, I turned it on. We'll see what happens with that. So basically on a TV that's lower than 4K, it could help. Okay, I enabled it. We'll see what happens if it makes the game even look even better. Super sampling. Gamma Relay just cheered and said, kick some ass, Phil. I've never seen you play a Souls game yet. Pretty jacked, man. Wow. You have never seen me play a Souls game? I've been playing Souls games since like 2011 or 2012. On and off, you know, pretty consistently ever since Dark Souls 2 came out. So, damn. Well, welcome. Amos, bro, it was 2.5 years ago at this point. Yeah. Well, I guess you could say 2.25 years ago. And yes, that's all that some people will talk about because, you know, that's what they do. That's the internet. People still talk about, you know, the what could be construed as a racist joke that I made in 2010 back on Blip TV. They still talk about that almost 8 years later, even though I've never made a joke like that ever again. I learned my lesson. Dex Weapon says, do some invasions this stream. I've never actively sought to do invasions, except Dark Souls 2. Wasn't it Dark Souls 2 where I did invasions in the arena, right? I think that was the game that I did them. But I don't think I ever did them in any other Dark Souls. I don't even know how to do them. I never really understood the mechanics. I usually get the items and shit for them, and then I never understand them or do them. Alexander Rossi is asking me, am I going to watch the KSI versus Logan Paul boxing match? Fuck no. I don't give a flaming shit about that. And Saturday is my day off, so I really won't be caring about it. Thank you, Tutankhamen, for another 100-bit cheer. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And another 100-bit cheer. Here we go again. He's going with these 100-bit cheers. Thank you, Tutankhamen. Appreciate it. And yet another one. Vietnamese Comrade says, do you think TCL TVs are better than other TVs? Are they better? No. But for the price that they are, they're incredible values. The TV that I'm getting, by the way, guys, I have ordered a TV, and supposedly it may be coming tomorrow from Amazon. I say that because sometimes they guarantee delivery and it doesn't show up. But I may be getting my new TV tomorrow. TCL basically has very, very, very low input delay TVs. Very low input delay. So, really good response time when you're playing games on these TVs, which is great. But the price point is good. Like, the TV I'm getting is $300. $300 TV that's 40-some inches large and has great response time is really cool. And it's a 4K TV, HDR, everything. And I think the reason is that they want to be the more affordable model for gamers. However, the trick here, alright, the trick here is that they're not great TVs for example, watching movies. From what I'm understanding, if you were going to watch a movie on a TCL TV, it ain't so great. And especially if you're in a room where you can't look directly on at the TCL TV, it'll become blurry. Like, you won't be able to see stuff if you're looking at it at an angle. Okay? I don't know. I don't own a TV. I don't have a TCL yet, but I guess we'll find out. Okay? It is donated. Someone basically gifted me the funds to get the TV. So that's, I ordered it myself and it's coming supposedly tomorrow. But someone gifted me the funds. When they found out I got the PS4 Pro, they gifted me the funds to get a TV to use with the Pro. So, holy crap, Tutankhamen is going nuts, guys. So Tutankhamen, I gotta give him a massive shout out. Not only did he do a bunch of 100-bit cheers, then he did a 600-bit, 300-bit, 400-bit, 200-bit, 200-bit, another 200-bit, 200, 200, and now a bunch of hundreds, another 200. I don't know what's going on here, guys. This is pretty crazy, but thank you, Tutankhamen, for this overwhelming support. It's very much appreciated. Holy crap. And I haven't even seen Tutankhamen until today. This is a relative newcomer to the stream. I don't know who this is. Thank you. Unless he's a lurker. He could just be a lurker, right? Who just kind of lurks around the background. Look at this. 300, 400, 400. Holy crap. Wow. Thank you guys very much. So anyway, yeah. some people asking me about what kind of TV I'm getting. It's a low-end TCL model, but it does have all this. It does have 4K. It has HDR. It has a really good response time. I'll take a picture of it. I don't know if I guess I could give you the model specifics or whatever when it arrives, but I'll let you guys know what it is, you know, when it shows up, I guess. Holy crap, Tutankhamen is going nuts. He's definitely the top cheerer for today. He's the 600-bit cheerer, so I'll definitely get him up there on the leaderboard here. He had a 600-bit cheer that was the biggest one. There we go. AES Charity says, as a sub goal, would you consider doing a fighting extravaganza where you play voted on fighting games? Yeah, I would. That might be fun. Although I'll be honest, like the problem with fighting games, unlike other games, is they're very hard to just jump into because primarily they're focused on competitive play. And so, for example, if I was just to do, like, okay, people vote for Injustice 2, Tekken 7, Street Fighter 5, you know, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and I don't know, what would be a fifth one? Mortal Kombat. Well, it would be pretty tough because if I go back to play those games, if I haven't, especially a game like Injustice 2 or Mortal Kombat, I haven't played those in a million years. How am I going to go back and play them at any kind of a level? You know what I mean? Like, more than likely what'll happen is I will just suck at it. And people won't like it. They'll be like, oh, well, you're not good at it or whatever, right? And that's the problem. Especially if people are voting, I wouldn't even know what games there are to even prepare or whatever. So, but that's a good idea. That actually is an interesting idea. And perhaps I will do that as a event coming up. So, AES cheered again. He says that would make it rather interesting. Tutankhamen at this point is cheering so much that I can't even give shout-outs for each cheer he's doing. He's actually now backlogged my cheer notifications. Look at this. This is nuts. He's basically cheered almost 10... He has now officially cheered 10,000 bits in one session. Holy crap, guys. Well, thank you, Tutankhamen, for the support. He's still going. Thank you, Tutankhamen, for all of this support. All right. Damn, he's still going. Well, as he's still going, does anyone else have anything else to say? Anyone else want to talk before we get started with Dark Souls 3? Maybe we'll get Tutankhamen to get tired here. Holy shit. This has been the most consistent amount of cheering I've seen in a long time. Holy shit. I mean, look at this. This is insanity. Kekken says he'll teach me Tekken. Well, it's not that I don't understand the basics or the fundamentals, Kekken. It's the nuances. I mean, I'm sure I would be able to jump in in Tekken at any moment. I could play with Paul Phoenix or King, or I think they're adding Lei Wulong. He used to be like one of my main characters in Tekken back in the day. So, you know, I always would know the basics of a few characters in Tekken. I could jump right into the game and be able to play at least an okay level. The problem would be now, oh, I don't know matchups. I don't even know certain characters, right? Like, good luck playing, you know, Injustice or Tekken when you don't even know half the shit in the game anymore. That's kind of what I'm facing right now with Street Fighter 5. I haven't seen half the characters. So I'm playing a game with basic fundamentals trying to win in a case where I don't even know what the capabilities of a character I'm fighting are, right? He's still going. Tutankhamen is still going. Holy shit. Luther Cujo asks, did I see Sekiro gameplay? It looks like an easy mode version of Dark Souls with Assassin's Creed. No, I have not. I have not seen it, so. Holy crap. Thank you, Tutankhamen. Much appreciated. Looks like he's finally calmed down now. All right. Tutankhamen, crazy today. Top cheer of 600 bits, but he's cheered over 11,000 bits on the pre-stream. Holy crap. Thank you, man. Alright, so I guess we're about to end the pre-stream. I will just remind everyone, I mean, I'm very appreciative of Tutankhamen, thank you very much. But the best way that you guys could support me right now, actually, would either be to pledge to my Patreon by the end of this month or to tip me. Those are the two ways that are going to help the most right now. Because coming up in the next couple of weeks, early September, I'm going to be hit in a pretty big negative way because I had lost those ads on YouTube for 2.5 weeks there in July. And normally that would be a payment coming in around the 10th of the month. That's going to be a tiny payment now because of what happened. and that's not good. So if you guys really want to be supportive, I appreciate any contribution. I'll give you a shout out for cheer subs and tips, but if you could either pledge to my Patreon or tip me, those are the ways that are going to help the most right now, okay? Oh, all right, finally, Ratio 91 just did a 3-month resub and says, here's the 3 months of support. Thank you, Ratio 91, for the 3 months of support. I appreciate that. All right, it's calmed down. I think it's now time. I think it's now time to end this pre-stream. Okay? Miri Masaki just said something funny. He says, Tutankhamen is a pharaoh that has come back from the dead to support Phil after hearing of Phil's difficulties. Wow. I don't think so. All right. Thank you guys very much for a fun pre-stream. Let's end the pre-stream, and then I will begin Dark Souls 3 and a much higher frame rate on the PS4 Pro today. We'll see how it goes. Okay? Thanks, guys, and here we go.